Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I am your host, Matthew, aka Mr. Boom Boom Pow 1. Welcome all back to the channel for another Mat Chat. So today I figured instead of talking about a topic or anything in particular that doesn't involve me, I thought about why not talk about me? Me as a person, me in general. For those who are not aware, I am a type 1 diabetic. It's something I've lived with for more than like half my life. I was 11 turning 12. I'm currently 27, so almost like a little over 15 years, close to 60, but not really. It's basically defined my life for the most part. I spent my entire life really having to worry about what I eat, what I drink, what am I doing, things that I really just don't want to do, things that I do have to do. Like, I'll be honest, it's actually really annoying to have to check your blood sugar constantly when you're growing up and worry about sports and activities. Like, I was in the marching band in high school, and it would always suck when we were in the middle of drills and I'd have to like I was in the I was in the drum line, so I played quads, so they were a little heavy for someone like me because I had I wasn't like a twig or anything, but I was definitely like a little bit on the skinnier side. So I would have to put them down. I'd be like, I'm sorry, I gotta eat something. And diabetes is a disease that people kind of look at and make fun of because you have type 1 and you have type 2. So, when people think about diabetes, it's really type 2 that they think about. Like gaining it through weight, not taking care of yourself. Oh, my grandfather has diabetes. My uncle has diabetes. He's in his 60s. Like stuff through age. I have it because of an autoimmune disease. Now, for me, I basically now I have it's called a sensor. It's the Guardian 4. It basically is kind of Bluetooths my blood sugar to my insulin pump, which is a big help because I've had a lot of trouble over the years getting my blood sugar under control. It's kind of affected my eyesight a little bit and some other things, but for the most part, my diabetes now is under control. My A1C, I believe, is like a 7.2, I believe, which is like the best it's ever been. I used to really stay around like the 10 mark, the 11 mark. I've gone through DKA. It's called a few times where like there's so much acid buildup in my body trying to get rid of the sugar, and I'm just finally in control. But yeah, I have type 1, so for me, my pancreas doesn't work at all. It just it's a dead organ essentially. So my body, I'll eat stuff, my blood sugar will go up, but it doesn't make insulin to counter it. So I have to have an insulin pump. For years I was on the insulin pens, which are essentially what you think of when you think of like a needle. And I would take my medication that way, which that was a real struggle. When I was living alone for a few years, I was on the insulin pens, and controlling my blood sugar was very difficult. And I had a lot of lows. And like when I mean like a lot of lows, like I was having these. It kind of felt like I was under some kind of like drug because it was like I was in a dream almost a lot of the time where I couldn't function. But the insulin pump is much better. I use Medtronic, which is just amazing. They definitely have their issues as a company, but that's a whole nother rant. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a Medtronic rant in the future. But yeah, no, it just helps to have this extra thing helping with my insulin pump because there are so many times in my life where I'll eat a bunch of Oreos, candy, and I'm like, I don't need to take insulin. I'm going to work or I'm doing this. I need my blood sugar to be a little higher. Or I'm gonna work it off anyways, and then my blood sugar stays high, which causes you to have to go to the bathroom a lot because your body wants to flush out all the excess sugar. And like I said, it's annoying. It just truly is a really annoying thing to have to put up with. My going through I was in middle school when I got diabetes, so I took my shots. I had to carry around like an extra backpack that my mom got me, and I would keep like snacks, my insulin pens, my checker, the finger pricks that I had all around that. And kids being kids in like the 2000s and early 2010s, they were pretty they were real bullies. And once I got to, I think it was eighth grade, I got my first insulin pump. And that was basically a whole nother thing where everybody has to go, oh, you have a beeper? You got a beeper? Bro, what do you have a beeper for, Which caused fights. People want to like poke it, people want to play with it, people want to, I've had, when I used to get bullied a lot, people would like grab the wire and pull it out, which then caused fights and other things. But it's something that you just grow past and evolve through. There were even times over the years that we considered getting like a service dog or a dog for diabetes, which we never ended up doing just because, oh my gosh, the amount of money those dogs cost. Whew. I remember looking into it, and it was like almost 100 grand a couple of years ago. I don't know what it would have been when I first got diabetes, but I would not have been able to bring a dog to school with me. Obviously, they would have to let me if I had a service animal, but me at that time, I was not very responsible with doing things, and like I could barely even do my homework. There's no way I could have taken care of a dog. Thankfully, I have my dog now, Arthur, who's hanging out with me right now. But yeah, young me would not have been able to do that. Younger Matthew. But it would have been fun. I know a lot of people do have them. Not, I don't think it's as common to, like, for me to see people with service dogs for diabetes anymore. I used to see them all the time, but it's been a couple years. The one thing that I find a lot of, so I use Medtronic like as my main supplier for like my insulin pump and all that. And there are other companies like Dexcom, but I also use the Freestyle Libra for a few years, which it's like a different off-brand, not off-brand, but it's a different company. It doesn't really Bluetooth, to my knowledge, to your insulin pump. But it was one of those things like I check my blood sugar, I put it into my pump, let my pump do the work. I don't have to do that now, but the Libra I had such bad experiences with. It was the summer of 2023. I actually almost died because of it. I was leaving a movie theater. Was it 23 or was it 22? I was coming home from watching the new the Haunted Mansion movie. Like the remake for Disney. I'm pretty sure it was last summer. But yeah, I was feeling a little off. I checked my blood sugar. I've been sick for a few days, but I checked my blood sugar before driving home, and it said my blood sugar was like 130 something. I'm driving home and I'm on the highway, and all of a sudden, like, I start to feel woozy, and everything goes black. I wake up, I'm in the hospital, right? My blood sugar was 34. 34. It was 100 points off. So yeah, no, I will never use Freestyle ever again. No, thank you. Definitely dangerous. It's something I see a lot of people use. I've had people tell me that it's more for type 2 diabetes than it is type 1, which again, I'm not as knowledgeable as I probably should be. Type 2, obviously it's not something you can just make fun of or laugh at. It's still a serious thing to deal with. There have been so many people who have died over the years over diabetes, and it's a horrible thing, horrible. And I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, because I'm still getting used to these commentary style videos and kind of just talking from the heart and from the top of my head. But yeah, it's very difficult. Freestyle, I'm not a big fan of. Never will use it again. Dexcom, I've heard a lot of good things about, but I think Medtronic is just like I'm comfortable with right now. I do want to look into like changing my diet up too, because I do need. I'm not fat, but I need to drop a couple pounds. I want to look a little bit better. I'm at like the 200 mark, and I'm 5'11", so I don't know if that's really good or not. But I would like to drop like 10 pounds, feel a little healthier. But diet is a big thing. One thing, when I eat and drink things, like carbs and sugars are what I look at. So when you buy like granola bars or any kind of food, if you look at the back of a box, you'll see like the nutrition facts, like carbohydrates per serving. Which for me, for example, right, like a slice of white bread normally, in my experience, is like 10 to 12 carbs per slice. So usually I've always considered like, oh, it's 2 slices of bread, 24 carbs. It's a turkey sandwich. So I'll explain to people like, yeah, a bagel is like anywhere from 8 to 12 slices of white bread when you have one, and then I'll tell people that they're like, what? And then that's usually how I do it. I'll like compare things to slices of white bread, and I think that's just hilarious watching people react to, oh my god, white bread. Well, that's weird. Like, yeah, it is kind of weird, but that's just how I am. I find it fun telling people like how much they're eating and comparing things for them, and they'll just assume that you're a math whiz because of your diabetes, which I'm not. I am not good at math. My last math chat, I made a comment about money, and afterwards, when I re-listened to it, I was like, wait a second, I am completely wrong about all of that. That's oh god, but you know. I need to get better at math. But yeah, my diabetes, I am in a much better place than I was years ago. I've taken care of it much better. Um, it's also hard to live alone as a diabetic because there are times that obviously you just can't control with your blood sugars, and so it's always better to have people there. But thankfully, I'm in a spot now where when I do move out again, I'll probably most likely have it under control. I do have my dog who isn't a service dog. Technically, he's a registered dog, but he never got the training, so but it's it'll be fine. And I'm sorry if I say take a shot every time I say. But hey, I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Bye.